So got a question today we're gonna answer, and the question is, how should you balance weightlifting and BJJ? I train BJJ 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm a white belt. Let's get into it. So this is a great question. It's one I've gotten numerous times, kind of how to balance jiu-jitsu and weightlifting. I think weightlifting is an incredible complement to jiu-jitsu, and it's very important, very useful for performance and injury mitigation. And also, who doesn't want to look a little bit bigger, a little more jacked, without their shirt, right? So again, I actually have a few ideas because I was very inconsistent with my weight training for quite a while. I train jiu-jitsu about 2 to 3 times a week as well, and I weightlift 3 times a week. Now, I was having issues with this for, like I said, for quite a while until I made a change and I made myself accountable, essentially. So we'll talk about the scheduling later, but I want to talk about kind of the purpose of this. So I didn't really feel motivated or accountable to anyone about weightlifting. I would lift every now and again when I had some time, and sometimes I would talk myself out of it. So I decided that, I was gonna make a few changes, and one of those was to hire a coach. I hired a coach that basically took that thinking away. I basically would have them give me my meal plan so I didn't have to think about my diet, and give me my workout routine so I wouldn't have to think about that either. I think that was a game changer for me because I was incredibly inconsistent. I'd weightlift and do it to some extent, but nothing that I felt like could maximize my potential on the mats and also make me feel better and stronger. The other thing I did was I included my wife in the process. I think having someone else that holds you accountable besides a coach is also helpful. Helps change your environment around. So what we did was we changed our diet, and we kind of kept our diet together. And we eat kind of the same foods, just different quantities. So for me, that was like a huge thing because I had someone that was also in it with me to focus on similar goals. So that's another thing. Now, finding the time. There's always going to be an excuse not to. I train 2 to 3 days a week of jiu-jitsu, and I weightlift 3 days a week. So how do I do that? I get up earlier, I go to bed earlier, I find time throughout my day. So I actually get up at 5 a.m. pretty much every day, except like one day during the weekend. I sleep in just a little, but my body's so used to going to bed early that I just naturally get up early and I get a workout in the morning. I try not to have my jiu-jitsu and my strength training on the same day. If I do have it on the same day, I try to do my strength training after jiu-jitsu, and I give myself at least like 3 to 4 hours. Honestly, I prefer about 6 hours if possible. So that's kind of how I balance it. I get up earlier, I get some of my working out in the morning. I try to have days where I'm only lifting and days where I'm only doing jiu-jitsu because I feel like it feels better on my body. I don't feel like my body gets as taxed. But I think that, hiring a coach, changing your environment, and also, making sure you go to bed on time and get up earlier and get some of those hours in the morning to strength train. And I mean, the thing that's been a game changer when doing that, I feel like once I work out in the morning, I've accomplished something for the day. Like, I feel like way better, and I feel like I've done something difficult and I've challenged myself, and I think there's so many rewards to that. So hopefully it's helpful for you. I think you can always find an excuse to not weightlift or not weight train, but I think the benefits greatly outweigh not working out. I feel like my body is healthier and stronger, and I have better performance on the mats, and I feel better. So hopefully it's helpful in giving you some ideas on how to incorporate weightlifting into your weekly routine. Thanks for reaching out. Talk to you next time.